Northampton Township Planning Commission for Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge to Allegiance and a moment of silence for the folks in service. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes from October 8th. Are there any questions? Any comments from the minutes?
I move they be approved as written.
I second.
Okay. Minutes are approved. Our first item for consideration is the primary final plan of land development, the flood land development, SLD 24-2, 215 Railroad Drive. Could you state your name, please, and give us an overview of your proposal?
Certainly. My name is Stanley Lalka. I'm a professional engineer employed by Cruise Surveying who prepared the plan. The existing facility is a 10,000 square foot industrial building on a 2-acre site. And what we are proposing to do is put in a second building of 7,500 square feet. Same industrial type of use. If you have any questions about the use, the floods are here tonight as well.
Okay. Is it connected to the building?
No, it's 2 separate buildings.
Okay. So what would be generally the setback between those 2 buildings?
I don't know if we have a specific.
Just roughly, it's not
Roughly.
attached, so it,
No, it's not. It's approximately 75 feet.
okay,
And then there is loading and parking between the 2 buildings as well.
okay. Does the engineering department have anything to add to that, or any issues?
No, as far as our letter, it's pretty clean. There's only a couple things we'll have to work out, but I would just like to point out that waiver request number 6 regarding the parking stall width shouldn't be required, as they're requested for the ADA parking spaces, and that
Yes.
follows ADA regulations, so I don't believe that waiver's needed for this project.
And any other issues, or will comply?
And we will comply with the engineer's comments.
Okay. I'll leave it open for any comments on the board. Anybody have questions?
No, I just thought it was interesting that the public water and sewer is available, but I noted in the description of the project here that at this time you don't anticipate connecting to it. Is that true?
Yes, that's my understanding,
okay.
that they're not going to have any facilities
Yeah.
in the new building.
Okay.
So it's going to just use as like storage?
Sure.
Turn your mic on. when you-
Okay. Just like warehouse for storage, okay.
No need for water and sewer. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments?
No, I just thought it looked pretty clean and that there were no issues. I had no issues.
So it looks pretty clean overall, then.
Yeah, no problems.
I mean,
Are we ready for a motion, then?
yeah, I move that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors preliminary final approval of the flood land development, SLD 24-2, subject to compliance with the Township Engineers Review Letter dated October 21st, 2024, and the Township Traffic Engineers Review Letter dated October 21st, 2024. It is also recommended that the requested waivers be granted.
Any seconds?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
There we go. You guys are too fast to beat my attorney here, or my engineer here, so I'll wing it.
So our second item for consideration is consideration of preliminary final plan of land development, 66 Richard Road, SLD 23-5. Could you state your name, please, and your proposal?
Yeah, my name is Matt Genesio. I'm with Magnum Corp., and we are proposing to construct a 10,900 square foot building in addition to our current approximately 12,000 square foot building on 66 Richard Road, which is 2.37 acre site that we have there. We're proposing pretty much doing the mirror image of what's there, so additional parking up front, a driveway down the one side to access, parking, storage, loading docks in the back. And I'm assuming that you guys have the plan and review letters and things of that nature in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. And that is, that's it from my standpoint.
Okay, does Township Engineer have any comment on it?
For this one, they have several waivers requested. However, number 13 and 14 from our letter are specifically for the stormwater management ordinance, and at this time, we don't feel comfortable supporting those with the current design because of the slope that they're proposing off the side of the driveway for that, and concerned that some of the stormwater runoff might not get captured or collected by their stormwater management system and bypass and have adverse effects on the neighboring property. Other than that, the rest of the letter is pretty straightforward, and I believe we can get those all addressed.
Has there been
and worked out
conversation
through.
to alleviate those problems?
Not yet. I didn't have time yet today to coordinate with the engineer, but we can do that directly and make sure that we get that worked out and
Very good.
addressed. And if it is, if we do get that addressed, those waivers would still be applicable. But right now, I don't recommend approving them,
So we have to wait for that.
potentially.
Well, we can, well, obviously, we have several issues to address with the review letters.
Right.
And so we'll work with the engineer, obviously, in satisfying their concerns with that.
Okay.
Whether we have to put a retaining wall in or a curb or something to direct the water runoff instead of coming down that steep
Right.
slope. Even though it's not very long, it is steeper than what's in the Saldo, so.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, we can work
We'll
with,
work with you to
Yep.
address that, yeah.
yep,
for
that'll work.
So you feel that it's resolvable?
Yeah, I don't think any of these issues are unresolved, for sure. We just have to take a closer look at the review letters and work with township,
Very good.
third parties.
Comments from the board?
Is the building, you describe it as adjoining, but is the wall of the existing building going to be knocked down to connect it to the
Yeah,
building?
that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
So it'll
Okay.
just be one open building?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're adding a second loading dock then too, or just?
That would be the goal, because currently, as it's designed, the grade and the back of the buildings aren't going to line up. So in order to do, develop a thing with current stormwater management, we need to have that grade in the back higher.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we're gonna kind of address as we go through working with the engineers to see how it's gonna work, but that would be the goal. And if it can't be loading dock, then maybe, the current building has loading docks, so we'll have to see, maybe this new side is just drive in, drive out loading, and then we bring all of the other loading to the existing building and have the loading docks on that side, so we'll have to see logistically how we wanna operate it. But that's ultimately the constraint, which is why the backs kind of don't line up, and we've got this bisecting retaining wall in the middle. It's kind of clunky, but when one's 50 or 60 years old and one's brand new, you kind of get some of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other comments?
So I drove through the site today and noticed that there's several Quonset huts in the back. Are those Quonset huts going to go away?
That'd be the plan.
That's the
That
plan.
would be the plan.
I said, it looks like you need a bigger building.
Yes.
So it looks like business is good and that you need a bigger building, and, I had no other problems. I was just trying to figure out why you were keeping the 90-degree parking in front of the building,
90 in front, and then I think.
and then angled on this.
It all has to do, I believe, with setbacks, coverage, and
Getting enough parking spots in?
ultimately, well, we're requested relief from parking. But I believe that that's what it has to do with. We're just trying to keep it as consistent as possible with the current layout. And we couldn't, I mean, I guess we could spin those in the front of the building to be 45s. Ultimately, you do that just because if it's one-way traffic, it doesn't save you anything dimensionally, really.
Right.
What it allows you to do is decrease the width of the drive aisle, and then that can decrease the total coverage of that parking lot.
Yeah, so I didn't understand why you didn't just design it to have 45-degree.
We're just trying to mirror what's currently there, and so that's what's there. It's head in, right by the building, and then 45, closer
Yeah.
to the street.
But all you're doing is repainting lines. Didn't
Yeah.
seem like much.
Yeah, we could take a look at it. I mean, it's not really a big concern. Most people pull in that way anyway, because you're coming in from Jacksonville Road, and then most people go out the other way too, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that much of an issue for us to
Okay.
change line
And
striping.
where is the entrance going to be on the new building? Because right now, it's at the corner as you come in.
Yeah, we don't have the building designed yet, so I don't know if we'll have a separate entrance, like we'll kind of mirror image it. And I don't know if, we'll probably obviously have some, like man door access on the front there some way.
Okay,
But we haven't designed the building yet, so we're not exactly sure.
okay, all right, well, that makes sense.
The traffic
I was
pattern-
just looking at the two handicap spots are at the two ends of the parking, so I said, and where is the door? I thought, are you going to have two doors?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go through all that. They usually put the handicap spots are at a certain point where the grade is a certain degree and it's not too steep.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna have to follow the line of, I think I got it, Larry. We're just gonna have to follow the path of, the ADA entrance for access into the building. So we'll probably put a man door
Okay.
over there.
Okay, cool, thank you.
But like I said, we haven't designed that building yet, yeah.
All right,
Your current traffic patterns are consistent with what this new building is going to be, I would guess, right?
Right.
In terms of the volume and picking up materials and so on.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna hire any new people. This is pretty much just for stuff.
Right.
Manufacturing and storage,
Just to have the room for it.
just to have the room for it,
Yeah.
yep. And so, again, logistically, I'm not sure how we're gonna manage the flow of deliveries or also, shipments out, once we see kind of how it takes shape. But that's the plan, is all the stuff that's in the Quonset huts and storage, there's a lot of, we make ductwork. And so
Okay.
it just takes up a lot of space, we do a lot of
I'm
big
sure it
jobs.
does, yeah.
Yeah, so,
A lot of metal.
that's it, yep.
Any other comments?
no,
I guess we're ready for a motion.
I move that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors preliminary final approval of 66 Richard Road Land Development, SLD 23-5, subject to compliance with the Township Engineers Review Letter dated November 4th, 2024, and the Township Traffic Engineers Review Letter dated November 4th, 2024. It is also recommended that the requested waivers be granted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Is there any other business that we have to attend to this evening? Not being any other business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.